Hello everybody, this is Japhet from the Arc of Trading. What's happening? What's going on? How are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Top 10, where we analyze our trending stocks objectively and we look at what the price action is doing on those said stocks. So before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're a new viewer. It literally takes a second to do it, so go down below, hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer and you want to help this channel out and get more exposure on these videos, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And yeah, first let's go to our market summary for today. We had a massive red day today with a negative 116 points and a lot of foreign net coming out. So there were more investors taking out their investments. Foreign investors took out 1.36 billion today, more than coming in, more than the investments that are coming in. So yeah, in turn, or as a result, we saw red sectors, red everywhere on every sectors today, except for, what is this one? Mining. So mining went up, most likely because we had FNI and NIKL going up, and even VUL on our trending stock for today. So I'm going to be tackling those, and let's look at PSE first before we move to those stocks. So what we see in PSE today, I drew this trend line hoping that it would bounce right here today. More ads, okay. Yeah, I was hoping that it would bounce around this support area on the 6900 zone, this point zone right here as a support, but rather it pierced below. So yeah, this symmetrical triangle was a zone of indecision, and finally it decided to break below. So now where are we looking to form some level of support right here? So we could be potentially looking at this range that we have specified right here at 6500 to 6625 points. So we could be seeing that now. I think we could say that this could be a resistance for our index. The 6900 zone could be now a resistance because it pierced below on the daily time frame. So we're looking at 6500 to hold its support. Man, that's it's gonna be a long way down from 6800 today, where it closed at, and negative 1.68%, or 116 points. So let's look at our first trending stock for today. Let's look at PHA. What did PHA do today? So what it did was it moved on the upside big time. We saw an 8.97% gain today, closed at 3.16 with a positive 0.26 on each share. So a lot of net foreign buyers, that's good. A lot of foreign investors coming into this, and we are hoping to settle around this resistance now support, hopefully at 3.01 levels. We are hoping that this holds up, and if it does pull back after this huge rally, if it does pull back, hopefully that level at 3.01 holds up right here. So we have that as our red line. This support we know held, and we are looking for it to build some level of consolidation now right here, because if it maintains that, that's going to be a healthy level for it to build a level of support. So yeah, let's watch what happens for this one. But there is a gap right here that it might want to fill sometime in the future, but we don't know when. With all the catalysts that it has today, we might be looking at this and have it act as support for PHA. While for DITO, what happened for DITO? So we have this candle today where it got rejected around the same price point at 18.1. We saw a push on the upside up until the high of 18.38. So it tried to push up there, but it closed at 18.12 at positive 1%. Saw a lot of foreign net coming out, so That's a huge move on the downside, so it really wants to test this level of support once again. We are watching this 17.1 range because I think that's a pretty solid support now. So it got rejected on the upside once more right here. I didn't close above our resistance level just yet, so we could be seeing a retest of this support potentially, and then that would be a great place to accumulate shares for this one. So yeah, that's it for now. For Dito, just know your cut loss points for this one in case everything pulls back big time, because it could potentially break that and then find level support around this price point, but maybe less likely to happen. But with this one, hopefully it holds around above 17.1 levels. So up next we have APL right here. Let me just quit this one. Okay, APL. So APL is trying to form some level of support right here. So it does it's doing some pullbacks, a little bit of a pullback right here right now on this level, because we are still in this gap. So it's still in this gap and it's still holding that level above 25.50, and it closed at 0.27 today, so it's still above this resistance that we had at 26.50. And yeah, it lost about 1% today, and with the positive net foreign, so it's still in a way consolidating at around this area. People are still accumulating shares on this price point, so it's still within our support range, so that is good. As from my last analysis, I'm hoping that it still builds some level of support right here in this range that we have specified for APL. So yeah, it's moving sideways for sure, and this is definitely a great time to accumulate. You could probably get this cheaper at around 26.50, around that price. That's the level I'm watching if ever I'm gonna get into this. So yeah, let's see this trend line. We have a trend line going up right here, so if it does intersect right around this price point at around 26.50, that's a great price. That's a great price for it as well to bounce from. So let's see what happens for APL. So I'm watching 26.50, I believe. So 26.50. Oh wait, what is this? Let me rename that. 26.50 right there because of its increments. So that's the level I'm watching, this intersection right here for it on the trend line, so for it to bounce from. So up next we have ACEN, where we saw a massive move on the downside, I believe. So yes, it did pierce through as well our trend line, so it decided to move sideways now. So yeah, it pierced through this trend line. It did not break above, but rather it retested this level of support at 7.6 to 7.75. That's a massive move on the downside, and we are now hoping that this would build some level of support right here, or else it could pierce through and retest this zone. This area right here at 7.05 to 7.25. Why is this 7.25? So it could be this zone that it wants to retest. We just have to watch out, because now if this support doesn't hold, we could definitely see a pullback right there and a retest of this level right here. So we shall see what happens for ACEN. And then up next we have BSC. Oh wait, ACEN closed at 7.61, negative 2.4%, and a lot of foreign net investments coming out. So yeah, so let's move to BSC, where we also saw a negative 4% today. So it did pull back, and it's right on the line. It's right on the line, but however, it could retest. There's still a chance that it would retest this trend line right here at 1.2, around 1.2 area, and hopefully it does go up and bounce from there, because if not, it would definitely want to retest this 1.15 levels, and that's a huge pullback after we just broke above this resistance that we have here. So hopefully tomorrow or the next few days it builds some level of consolidation right around this price point, so that it would maintain its break above of that resistance and not be a failed attempt or a rejection on the upside. But yeah, it got rejected here massively. That's wow. So it got rejected 4% up there, so definitely might be a move on the downside, strong move on the downside right there. So we gotta watch out for this one in case it breaks below this trend line, but it will do what it wants to do. For sure it might retest the 1.15 zone because of this massive candle for today, instead of maintaining some level of support right around 1.2. Well, it's still above, so we just have to watch out for this one. But definitely people sold it today more than they were buying, and yeah, close at 1.21 with a negative 4%, almost 5% for BSC. So up next we have FNI, who kept rallying today. Yeah, it just touched the this resistance level right here, touched it for a bit, opened there. When was this? Today? Yeah, it opened at a low of 3.04, and then it just kept rallying at 3.19. So I thought it was gonna pull back around this area right here, 2.9, but it didn't yet. So there's definitely a lot of foreign buying, 5% gain, 0.15 gain, so that's good. And we're about to reach that 52-week high at 3.22 for FNI, but we are definitely seeing it hold up on this level. But this still holds. This resistance still holds right here. It's currently trying to break that. It is currently trying to break that 3.19, or we could just, yeah, it got rejected once here at 3.19, and then got rejected again, but then a lot of people caught it still, so it might actually attempt to break this finally 3.12 levels. The 3.12 levels is something that we could be looking at for it to break. Definitely the 52-week high. So if it does settle above that, like, it could pull back here. It could pull back here for sure. But if it finds some level of support right here, we could be watching that, and it could bounce from there and it break above the 3.2 level, given the amount of catalyst that it has for today. So watch out for the 3 peso level to 3.05. That's a great support that you could be looking at for accumulation areas and for buying in. But if it doesn't pull back there, it might in the future, but it's definitely building a level of support here as well on the smaller time frame, I believe. But yeah, this is what it looks like today, and it just kept rallying on the upside. So we are going to see it test this level, the 3.22, and then let's see if it pulls back a little bit before rallying on the upside. So definitely want to touch that, hopefully builds a level of support here before breaking out. So that's the game plan. That's what I'm looking for. I definitely want to jump in here sometime soon around this price point, this box of let me fix that. This is the, what range is this? Yeah, so we could be looking at, what is this, range of 3 to about 3 pesos to about 3.08. So that's a good level, 3.00 to 3.08. So we could be looking at that level for an area of accumulation, since it doesn't want to pull back this deep. But if it does want to pull back that far down, we could be, you know, watching that. But for now, this is the level we're watching, because it didn't want to build some support there. So yeah, to lessen the noise on our chart, that's what I'm gonna put. And yeah, so I'm gonna move this. It might be a level that it wants to retrace in the future, but for now it's really definitely rallying on the upside. So up next we have MRC, who I think is also going on the sideways movement. Yes, it is still going sideways. It is still on this big range. So yeah, it's still undecided, but if this does break above, it's gonna make noise. Everyone's probably gonna jump into this. And yeah, if it does break above and then builds a level of support there at around this price point, that would be a great movement for MRC. So right now, if you want to jump in, you can, but know that if it does break below this range at 4.46 to 0.49, if it falls below that, that could be your cut loss points. But right now, it definitely wants to attempt to break this resistance right here at 0.57 to 0.59. Let's go to for our next stock. So it didn't do option A. It did do, this was option A with this movement. It broke below instead, but it's still in this support zone. So luckily it's still in there. And we could be seeing a retest of that 6.9 level. It definitely did touch it, but it's still close above that. So we are now going to be seeing more of a sideways movement here too. Hopefully it bounces over right here at 6.9 levels to maintain this range that was going on. If not, it could drop even further and potentially retest that 6.46 area. So hopefully it doesn't go that far. But this move on the downside, closing at 6.93 with a negative 1% and a lot of net foreign, that could be a sign that this is still going down on its downtrend path. So yeah, just be careful with this one. If you decide to come in, know your cut loss points, probably right around this area. Cut it when it breaks below the support level, and then just re-enter, find another entry point on another support level. So we shall see what happens to So NIKL, what is happening to NIKL? This is new to the daily top 10. Let us analyze what it's doing. So I like to do my resistances first. Let's put the resistance right there because it's the most recent thing that it broke. So we did see a massive move on the upside, and hopefully it does build some level of support on this resistance. This is where I'm looking at for it to build a support, if not right around here at the 50% level at 6.16. So I'm hoping, if we go to 1 hour time frame, I'm hoping this area holds up at around this price point. So 6.13 to 6.22. Hopefully it builds some level of support there. This is just my natural 6.13 to 6.22. So I'm thinking maybe a 50% pullback right here at around this price point would be healthy for it, because it touched it for a little bit, 6.21. So that would be a healthy place for it to pull back at. But we definitely saw this support level resistance right here, turn support level, hold up, and now we are seeing a rally on this guy. So Let me type in the range for this. 6.30 or 5.33 rather. 5.33 to around 5.50, 5.5 levels. So this level of support held up, and we did see a massive rally from there. Look at that. Look at that rally on the upside, and now we are almost 1 peso per share above. I mean, up from 5 days ago, from last week. So it just gapped and gapped. For this one, we are up 8%, 6.32 close, with a low and open of 5.96 and a lot of net foreign. So we're looking for it to pull back right around this price point or this level at 5.97. If it does hold up these levels, these two levels right here at 6.22 and 6.13 and 5.97, we should be on a good healthy pullback there, and nothing to be scared of to get in at, unless it breaks even further below, which is a signal for you to be selling. But hopefully these support levels hold, and if you choose to buy there, just know your cut loss points and your tolerable amount for your losses. So let's move on to our last one. We have VUL. What is it doing? It's still holding up this level of support, I tell you that. So it's still holding up that level of support. It's now more clear right here at these price points, so that's good. That's good for VUL. I'm gonna do that for now, or actually let me just put it there and put it right there. So yeah, what is this range? At around 2.88 to 3.10. So that's a good level of support that it has found, 3.10. And if it does hold this level right now, we could just be seeing a movement from this range. So yes, there's this ceiling still, and there's this. Oh, why is it 3.10? Wait, why is this 2.59? Sorry, my bad. My bad on this one. Why is it 2.59? Huh? Okay, let me retype that. That's my bad. Sorry. 3.59 and 3.79. So that's the resistance range, and this is the support range. So if you're gonna accumulate on this one, make sure that it's at this price range, the cheapest price range, so that your cut loss points is way closer to your buy point instead of being up here and then your cut loss point is right here. That's gonna be very huge on the loss part. So yes, let's go back to PSEI just to recap this for our movements today, because we saw a massive move on the downside for PSEI, and I'll just let my chart load up right here. But we did see a massive negative 100 points today. So I am definitely going for this move right here, for it to do this move, the ABC move right here, and probably retest that 6,500 level if it doesn't find support somewhere here, because it could find support right here at around 6,700 where this A is. So if it finds some level of support right here, that's around the same price, same point right here, way back in December. So let's see what happens. If it doesn't stop bleeding, it definitely could retouch this range right here. But yeah, that's it for me for today. This is getting quite long, sorry. Yeah, if you found something useful on this one, consider subscribing and leaving a thumbs up on this video. Helps a lot with the algorithm for YouTube to get this video out there and get more people watching. And that's it for me for today. As always, stay patient, be disciplined, and strive to be consistent with your trading. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next technical analysis of trending stocks.